What's going on, everybody? Excuse me. Happy Saturday morning. Here from Lebanon, Ohio. I'm in the back room of my wife's business. She's off doing a one-on-one sewing instruction. I'm going to run a live Q&A and pretty much going to stay on until my phone battery dies or until you guys get sick of me or until I run out of coffee. So we'll just wait for some people to show up and see who shows up this morning. And I'll be here to take your questions, as long as you can stand looking at the big, hairy, ugly dude. What's going on, everybody? If I miss any of your questions, please. What's going on, Robert? What's going on, John? If I miss any of your guys' questions, please fire them up. What's going on? JT's here. If I miss any questions, just fire them up again. Cheapest bulking food? Wow, cheapest bulking food is absolutely rice and eggs. Rice and eggs. Big bags of rice. All right, before I get into the Q&A, guys, just a reminder, I have a seminar coming up in January in Ohio. Robert asked what kind of coffee. Premium coffee, only premium. I have a seminar coming up in Ohio. You can check out specifics at my website, superlivingtoday.com. I'd love for you guys to join me. It's going to be 2 days of intense information, and I'm really looking forward to it. And I'm also working on a bench press book, which I should finish this weekend. Look for that to be announced soon. Come on over, join my group's Massive Iron on Facebook. Thank you. Appreciate the support, DLS. And if you guys need, just get my commercial out of the way. If you guys need coaching, whether it's weight loss coaching, power building coaching, a form assessment, a workout assessment, a diet assessment, or anything, check out superlivingtoday.com. I'm here to help. All right, let's get into the Q&As. Michael says we may get some flurries tonight. Yeah, you know what? It's pretty clear right here in Ohio, but it got down to 30 the other day, so we were expecting it could have snowed here. Let's see, Michael Yasho says cheating or not. I'm not sure what the question is. B, uppercase, B, lowercase says, I'm struggling with good leg drive on bench press. The best advice I can give you is whatever your foot position is, try to press down and away from the bar, and that'll help you get your lower body tight. So some guys bench on their toes, some on their heels, some flat-footed. When this is your foot and the bar's back here, press down and away from the bar. That'll help you bury yourself on your traps. That'll help you keep your legs tight. And again, if I miss your questions, guys, post them up again. Let's see. Chad says, when you were on your weight loss journey, how did you decide your end weight? I really didn't. I mean, my weight loss journey was kind of unique because I was just trying to save my life. I was in such bad health. And I was really tired of being a big guy. And I mean, I just attacked it for like 3 or 4 months, and I woke up and I was like 70 pounds down. I hadn't really been watching the scale. I just been watching what I ate. And I got down to, from there, I dropped another 30 pounds. And, I lost a lot of strength. I didn't really look that good. I was still pretty skinny fat, so the next 2 years I just worked on losing a little bit more fat and gaining more muscle. So I really didn't have an end goal. It just kind of came down to how I felt and how I felt. And, I looked in the mirror and the response I was getting for other people, really, that comes down to it as well. And people start to tell you, man, you're looking really good. How's it going, James? Fit 40 Fitness, James from the group. James is from the Massive Iron group. Come on over and join us. Chris Collins, let me grab some coffee here, if my phone will stop trying to focus. Chris Collins says, heavy sled pulls. Do you think they hit similar body parts as heavy trap bar deadlifts? Yeah, it's a different type of exercise. I mean, it's going to be, a posterior chain type of exercise. So any type of posterior chain exercise is going to, hit similar body parts. It's not going to hit the body the same way as a trap bar deadlift, but you're definitely going to get some of the same body parts, especially your butt and your hips and your quads. I think it's going to be it's a really good quad and glute focused form of exercise. Michael, sorry, the stupid phone will not focus properly. Watching this live and doing good mornings 10 by 10, that sounds like a lot of punishment. The good mornings are punishment in themselves, but having to watch me on video, that's extra punishment. Let's see, Stay Salty says, you may not whiffle waffle, but I think about you when I'm in the bath. That's awesome. We're very excited for you. It's 16:05 and I haven't gotten out of bed yet. You know what? That's what Saturdays are for, so I can't really comment on that. I wish I could stay in bed that long. Let's see. Hey, Big Hairy Ugly Dude, how would you recommend approach overcome overeating habits driven by emotional reasons, even if it's mostly clean food? You have to kind of start to retrain yourself. You have to, one of the things I teach is that when you're going to eat, you just do, part of this is choice, day by day, step by step. If you're struggling with an eating issue, the next step, when you want to sit down and have a big meal, the next time you want to have a big meal, you need to just eat a plate of food and then walk away for an hour and say, I'm going to eat a plate of food, I'm going to walk away for an hour. All right. You're slowly training yourself into new, better habits. You know, this is what I did at night when I was losing weight. Plate of food, went away for an hour. Something magical happens during that hour. If you start to train yourself, you actually start to feel less hungry and you're less likely to binge eat. So that's only one step of the process. There's a lot of different things you can do. But the point is, if you're struggling with binge eating or overeating, you need to really train yourself. And that comes down to choice by choice, day by day, step by step. It's very rare where someone just flips a magical switch and improves overnight. Michael Yasho says, creatine or not? Absolutely. Me and Fiona take creatine every morning. It's inexpensive. It's a performance enhancer, and don't get your undies all in a bundle when I say that. It's proven, it's studied, it helps with focus, it helps with, or not focus, it helps with performance, it helps with energy, it helps with power. Now, I'm not saying it helps like some crazy level, but it does help. It's proven to help. We take it with beta-alanine. I take beta-alanine 3 to 4 times a day, and creatine is definitely worth trying. I take 10 grams a day. You don't have to take that much if you don't want to. Fiona takes 5 grams. I take 10. YouTube says, will I be able to recover doing 1 heavy and 1 volume deadlift day? No, I don't want anybody to do two deadlift days during the week. If you do 2 types of deadlift training days, you have to do something less intense, meaning not, you know, preferably not over 85% of your 1 rep max. And then if you have a second day, it's going to be higher rack pulls like power shrugs or something, or a lot of back work, or maybe even some RDLs, Romanian deadlifts. But don't do 2 deadlift days during a week. Alternate them between a heavy and a volume day, week in and week out. Or what I would do, well, I would go in there and deadlift and work up to, you know, whatever I felt like on a given day, a heavy double, heavy triple, and then I would back off and do some more volume, you know, based on how I felt. But I don't really recommend deadlifting twice a week. There's just too many downsides. My source of motivation, oh, that's a really good question. My biggest source of motivation is right now just growing this, because I'm 51 years old. I've spent 12 years in the fitness industry, and I really want to make a career out of doing this. I've been getting into training this year for the first time ever. I have about 18 online clients right now. I want to go up towards 30, but I'm just kind of taking my time and adding them slowly. And I want to stay healthy because I really feel passionate about helping people change their body, not just from a muscle standpoint, not just from a strength standpoint, but also from an obesity standpoint, because we can't go to the store anymore without seeing just tons and tons of obese kids, and it's just getting out of control. And that's really my source of motivation, trying to help folks overcome that. I'm 90 pounds. Let's see. Rod says, I'm 90 pounds down in about 7 months. The plateau I've hit has lasted a month and I'm still 300. Help. Rod, hire me as a coach, seriously. Or have me do an assessment of your diet. That is what I do. I have my clients right now, none of them gained weight. All of them have lost weight. I work hand in hand with them. You need, if you're stuck at a plateau and you are 300 pounds, you need somebody to step in and give you guidance. Whether it's me, whether it's somebody else, it doesn't matter. But you need somebody that can help you because you are at a weight that is unhealthy and it is going to continue to take its toll. You've done a great job, but definitely whether it's free information on the web, whether it is free articles, you need to figure out what is missing in that puzzle piece and why it is slowed. And I'd be glad to help if you need some help. And you guys can follow me over on Instagram. Hit me up a DM. My Instagram is at Ben the Barman. Ben the Barman. All right, let me get some. Ben on Adventure says, hey, Steve, great news. Decided to try some higher rep work. In 6 weeks, I went from dumbbell incline press for 20 reps to 60 pounds for 20 reps. Is that 10-pound increase good progression? In 6 weeks, absolutely, that's wonderful progression. If you think about it, that's a pace of 80 pounds added to that lift in a year. That is wonderful progression. Over the course of a year, and obviously you're not going to be able to sustain that kind of progress, but over the course of a year, that equates to a lot of strength gain. So well done. Excuse me, we're still waking up here. Vincent says, I used to weigh 317 in December of last year, but after watching your videos and learning a lot, I'm now strong as fuck and down to 245. Well done. Glad to hear it. You'll never know me, but thank you for your updates. Thank you. Stuff like that is what motivates me, and thank you for taking the time to type that out and share that with me, because at the end of the day, that is why I do this. I want to see you guys, change your life. So well done, Vincent. And if you need anything else, just let me know. Smoking marijuana and working out. Don't do it at the same time, kids. Don't do it at the same time. Look, I mean, anything in moderation is cool. I don't like smoking, putting anything into my lungs, but if you only do it 1 to 2 times a week, it's probably not that bad. Just, it's the same thing as alcohol or recreational drug use. If you do something in moderation, I had a few drinks last night. We were celebrating Fiona, surviving the green card process. Moderation. I didn't get hammered drunk or anything crazy. I just had a few adult beverages. So anything in moderation is good. It's not gonna slow your gains down or anything. Lower back rounding acceptable during deadlifts. Lower back rounding is never acceptable during deadlifts. If there is lower back rounding, it's a sign of a form issue that needs to be corrected and analyzed and corrected by a coach. Let's see, Vincent just said he's 26 years old. That's exceptional, man, because you're down to a good weight now before you even hit your 30s when your metabolism is going to start to slow. So that's good to see. Michael says, love doing dumbbell pullovers. How effective are they? I guess it depends on what your definition of effective is. It's a good exercise. It's you have your big hitters, all right? You have your compound movements. And then you have your next tier exercises, which might be a lighter compound movement for reps. It might be, intense machine exercise. It might be things like dumbbell pullovers. It's really how you execute it. It's a good lift. It's not a primary lift, but it's a good lift. And especially if you do it right and take your time and learn the exercise correctly. Sorry, I got to keep tapping my screen to scroll the questions up, and my phone's trying to figure out if I'm trying to focus on me or what. Kevin says, good morning. Good morning, Kevin. Robert says, and cognitive booster too. Yep, cognitive booster. Although, I'm too old to have any cognitive left, so there isn't much boosting going on. Let's see. Peter says, is intermittent fasting okay while training hard on split training? Yeah, it's okay. I did fasting for a number of years, for like strict fasting for 2 years. And I would always come home and I would always train hard after that. I switched to more protein in the underfeeding window, which isn't strict fasting, and it triggers some people, but that's the way I ate, so get over it. I would have 500 calories during the morning. I won't call it fasting. I called it modified fasting, which triggers some people, but I modified a fasting program, and that's why I call it modified fasting instead of strict fasting. But anyway, I was able to perform about the same fasting and with only 500 calories before my workout. It's just the body will adapt and the systems will adapt. You might feel like, crap for a while, but you will adapt, and you should be able to train fine. There'll be some people that just don't like it, and if you don't like it, just stop doing it, because it's not a magical eating program. Danielle Kahn says, squat tips to hit depth for people with long femurs. And this is the honest truth. You need to get somebody that is a seasoned coach, like myself, that is used to critiquing squat form, not only on video, but in person. And this can be a person at your gym, or it can be somebody like me. And they need to tell you, hey, push your knees out a little bit, do this, do that, move the bar here. Because usually it's just a few minor adjustments to get your squat dialed in. Without seeing your video, I can't really comment. But if anybody needs a form assessment from me, they can head over to my site, Super Living Today. I provide a form assessment service. It's only $39, and it's a comprehensive service. If that is out of your budget, you can go over to my group, Massive Iron, and that's free. You can post up your form videos, and they will help you, no questions asked. So those are 2 solid options. Chris Collins says, I hope it does grow because you're very down to earth. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate it. The channel is actually growing really rapidly. If you look at the analytics, which I'm excited about. I mean, it's just a chance to get in front of more people. I'll be reaching 50,000 subscribers on this channel soon. And it, not a dig on other channels. But, I keep refining my content. It keeps growing, which is a wonderful thing. I'm very happy about it, but it's not about numbers and it's not about growth. Again, it's about being able to reach a broader market. And I'll just keep doing that until people say, hey, you're too old and too hairy and too ugly. We don't care about you anymore. How's it going, Bryden? Fit 40, looking forward to the bench book. I will buy it with the tank because you're the man. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. The bench book is probably going to have about 30 programs in it, 30 different bench programs. That's my goal. It's not going to be a small book. It's going to be very workout oriented, give you guys ideas, things to try, new things to try, because really that's what I'm about. So let's see, Vin DX Fitness. What are the best bench press accessories? Love your channel. Thank you, Vin. I appreciate it. When it comes to the bench press, make sure, first and foremost, excuse me, that you focus on getting everything in your body as strong as humanly possible, primarily your upper body. You want your shoulder, your overhead presses. I do dumbbell and barbell overhead presses. You want to get them brutally strong. You want to get your traps brutally strong. You want to get your chest, not just your bench press, but your chest brutally strong. You want to get your biceps brutally strong. You want to get your triceps brutally strong. Everything in the upper body, you want to get it. Whatever your strength standards are, you want to destroy them. A big, strong shoulders will help your bench. Big, strong arms will help your bench. There's a lot of guys that are running around out there that don't have really strong back work. They're rowing like 70s for 10s. If you want a big bench, you need to get that stuff up to 150s by 10s on your dumbbell rows. All right. You need to blast forward and add some strength. Your triceps need to get strong. Beyond that, you want to get strong close grip bench presses. You want to do some bench press volume. All right. The bench press, you can do your heavy work, but when you're done, go do some volume. What I would do each day when I was at my strongest in my late 40s I would work up to a heavy double, single, or triple, or whatever the heck I felt like for that day. Usually it was 365, 385, 395, 405, even up to 435 by 2, and that was with a slingshot. After I do that, I drop it down to like 365 and do as many reps as possible. Then I drop it down to 315 and do as many reps as possible. Then I would drop it down to 275 and do as many reps as possible. Then I would drop it down to 225 and do as many reps as possible. And I'd get my bench volume in. My 275 reps were up to 22 or even 27, I can't remember. My 225 reps were, off the chart as well. So do a lot of bench volume. I also like doing dumbbell bench or alternating dumbbell bench. Alternating dumbbell bench is like this. You can, I like adding in a lot of push-ups just because I like maintaining that body weight strength. But dumbbell bench, close grip bench, upper body strength, and don't forget your bench volume. Those should be fundamentals. And sorry if I rambled on too long. Ismail, is it possible for an average healthy young male to achieve a 600-pound deadlift, 500-pound squat, and 400-pound bench in 5 years? Is it possible? Yes. Is it likely? Highly unlikely. Highly unlikely. That a 600-pound deadlift, 500 squat, and 400 bench, that's a 1,500-pound total. When you go to real meets, there's not a lot of guys hitting 1,500-pound totals. I'm sorry, but that's the way it is. A 1,500-pound total is pretty impressive at a powerlifting meet. The meets I was at, there was only like 2 or 3 people doing that, including myself. When I would compete in the UPA with like Eric Lillibridge and Marshall Johnson and Paul Carter and Pete Rubish, there was more guys doing that, maybe like 10. But it was all of those guys, right? It's freaking hard to get to those levels. It's possible, but it's freaking hard, and it'll take a lot of hard work and a lot of focus. So just be patient. How to reply to people making fun of you going to the gym and still no result. Anybody that makes fun of you doesn't deserve your time in life. If somebody makes fun of me, they have a right to think I'm a dipshit. They have a right to think I'm a douchebag. They have a right to think I don't know what I'm talking about. People can think whatever they want. Obviously, honestly, 50% of the human race is I don't even know how they change light bulbs. People just, are crazy sometimes. Don't worry about what other people think. This is your life. Do what you want to do and be happy. And you have to come to grips with the reality that nobody gets a vote in what you do. And you know what? If you want to go to the gym for the next 40 years and you don't want to do any progressive overload, you just want to go to the gym and lift weights because it's a physical activity that makes you feel better, do it. I don't care if you do it. Nobody on this channel is going to care if you do it. Just go be happy because at the end of the day, it's your life. You're moving and period, end of story. All right. Andre says, how much percent of 1 rep max is 5 by 5? It's going to vary a little bit depending on the movement. When I had a 600-pound plus squat, I struggled to get above 4 or 5 by 5. Just because the squat was just more difficult for me. So it's going to depend on the movement. On the bench press, it might be like 82.5% or something. I don't know, something like that. There's no real magical way of saying that. Probably 82.5%, maybe, ish. Noah says, you recently made a video about 6-packs. I have a friend who is quite lean, about as much as me, and I have a decent 6-pack, but he cannot get the same 6-pack look. He did abs every day for a few months. Training abs every day had nothing to do with his leanness or 6-pack. If you build up your abdominal size, the abdominals are a very small muscle group. You're probably just going to build it up the height-wise. It's going to get thicker. But that's not going to make it pop. That's not going to give it that grainy definition. That's all about diet or genetics or body fat percentage. It's not about his workout. Ben on Adventure. I know this is a fitness chat. No, man, this is anything you guys want. This is We can talk about anything. I'm good. I wanted to recommend to you, Fiona, it's called Ozark. All right, I'll check it out. Thanks, Ben. I appreciate it. EST Param, I recently restarted gym going. I do a linear full body workout. Workouts aren't hard. I get my protein in, but I am so hungry all the time. I want to maintain or slightly lower my weight, 230 at 6'2". If you're hungry all the time, you know, I don't really know what your calorie intake is. You want to make sure your calorie intake is proper, so you're losing at your weight and you're not obese. You're 230 pounds at 6'2". You want to lose weight slowly, probably about 2 pounds a week, maybe 3 pounds max. And you got to make sure your calories are in check. I'm going to give you guys a secret. I'm hungry all the time. I'm freaking hungry all the time. I'm hungry all the time. I don't know if it's insulin or old age or because I sit at a desk all day long. All I want to do is eat. The difference is I don't eat. So if you're hungry all the time, there's nothing magical I can do other than say, keep the spoon out of your mouth. That's all I can say. Andre, how much time did it take to reach a 225-pound overhead press? For me, probably about 18 months. My bench press went up to about 225 by 4 in the first 18 months, and my overhead press was probably about 225 at that time. Good morning. Yog Kuv Nas, good morning. Underdog College Kid, what's going on, guys? Nick here with Nick's Strength and Power. I just had dinner with Nick, I don't know, what, three weeks ago? Insider Secrets. Yep, just had dinner with Nick about 3 weeks ago. Welcome, Nick's Strength and Power. Fred Schwartz, how's it going, Fred? Good to have you on board. Nico, what keeps you motivated to work out? I used to work out every day, and now I haven't worked out for 2 months. I feel better. I feel better. I feel better. I feel better. That keeps me motivated. And I want to lead by example. I want to help people change their lives. I want to help people like you change your lives. Here's the thing. If you don't have motivation to go to the gym, if you don't have motivation to eat right, you still need to do it. People will come to me and they'll say, Big Hairy Ugly Dude, I don't want to go to the gym. You know what? I don't want to go to the gym either. I'm not being facetious. I want to sit home and watch Netflix all day long in my underwear and eat Cheetos and drink beer. Because you know what? I like to do that stuff. I'm not going to lie and be a fitness dude that says I don't like to eat Cheetos and drink beer. I like to eat Cheetos and drink beer. But you know what? I still do the right thing because I'm an adult and it's my responsibility to take care of my body. And if you don't, you're going to pay the consequences. People will say, hey, Big Hairy Ugly Dude, I don't like to eat broccoli. You know what? I don't give a shit if you don't like to eat broccoli. I don't care if you don't like to eat broccoli. Eat it anyway. I don't care if you don't want to go to the gym. Go to the damn gym anyway. It doesn't matter what you feel like doing. You are what you do. And if you don't go to the gym and if you don't eat your broccoli, you're a lazy piece of poo-poo. Lazy piece of poo-poo. And you can go over the mirror. You can point in the mirror, like I got a mirror right there. You can say, hey, guy in the mirror, you're a lazy piece of poo-poo because you don't do what you know you should be doing. That makes you lazy. Not being hard on you, just being real. You're a lazy poo-poo head that needs to eat his broccoli and go to the damn gym. All right, how's that sound? Ben Adventure says I added in reverse dumbbell lunges into my leg training, and sheesh, I'm feeling it. Yeah, I love lunges. I love lunges and reverse lunges. They're a good exercise. I like to use them as a finisher and for high reps. What's going on, Kaj? Good morning. If you don't follow KH Performance Labs or Kaj Hodgick, if I pronounce your name properly, he writes some damn good articles, and I love checking out his Olympic lifting content on Instagram, so you should check him out. KH Performance Lab. Let's see. Donis Paul says, one of the best YouTube channels out there. Thank you so much. Thank you kindly. I appreciate it. Michael, how many times a week should I be deadlifting on a 5-day split? It's a power building type of program. Let me just get a notification off here. I made it for myself with deadlifts once a week on a full body day. If you are lifting 5 days a week, you want to deadlift 1 day a week. And the other day of the week, you could be doing Romanian deadlifts or even power shrugs. That's probably the most I'd be doing for deadlift variations. Let's see. Michael, hungry all the time also. I can feel my deficit all day. It doesn't bother me unless I eat one crap item, then I want more. Yeah, that's a big part. Distance yourself from the crap. Don't keep the crap around you. Don't keep the crap in your house. Don't keep the crap at your desk, etc., etc. T. Stoke Gold. Sorry, I'm trying to read the name up here. This channel will blow solid advice and couldn't meet a more sincere guy. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Ashley One, good morning. Angel, tips to heal a hurt back from deadlifts. Nothing serious, just got sloppy. Keyword there is sloppy. And I've done it too. I mean, if you deadlift over a long period of time, some reps are going to get sloppy. And sometimes you're going to pick up strains and pains and aches and pains. I've done that myself. And I am obsessed with deadlift form. The key thing is you need to continue to refine your deadlifts. You need to continue to study videos. You need to continue to try things. You need to continue to read articles. And you probably, at some point, want to get somebody like me or somebody else that is a deadlift nut to critique you, either in person or on the internet. And you're doing this, you're doing that. We can see things the average guy is not used to seeing because we're looking at them all day long. But if you hurt your back on deadlifts, you really need to have a deep assessment of what is going on. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it was a fluke. Or maybe you just need somebody like the big, hairy, ugly dude to take a look at your deadlift form and say, hey, do this. Don't do that. Let's see. Slow cooking barbecue, pulled pork, and a crock pot for dinner tonight. That sounds good. When I was a fat boy, I would take my pork and I would put Dr. Pepper in there, adobo peppers, all kinds of good stuff. But you know, I don't get to eat a lot of that stuff anymore. Just Nico says, thanks for an honest response. I respect that. Yeah, I'm glad you can appreciate that because look, at the end of the day, we don't feel like eating right. We don't feel like exercising. The easy path is called easy for a reason because it's easy. But you still have to do the right thing. You still have to do the right thing. Do we feel like getting up and going to work? No. I mean, I just want to sit around, watch Netflix. So you still have a choice. You still have a choice. Advice on getting better sleep. I run into this a lot with my clients. And getting better sleep, the foundation of it has to start by setting certain parameters. This isn't a guarantee you're going to get better sleep. But you have to say, okay, at 8 o'clock every night, I'm going to have all my work done. I'm going to have everything off my plate so I don't have to think, so I can relax, so I can joke, so I can have a drink, so I can have a cigar. So you have to set a time. By 8, it's chill time. By 9, it's get in the shower time. By 9:30, it's get my head on a pillow time. You have to have a pattern or a rhythm that will help you. That is a foundation. That is a fundamental. There has to be a period of time where you set your phone aside. Because invariably, when you pick up your phone, you're going to find some drama or some interesting discussion or some magic YouPorn video that you haven't seen before. I know, I'm watching you guys. I know what you do. But you know how it is. So you have to be able to set down your phone as well. That is a foundation. You might not want to do stims after 5 o'clock at night. You want to sleep in a dark room, preferably a little bit cool. And you need to have good sex every night. You need to have a partner that, you just need to have good sex. That'll help you sleep. That is a fundamental. And if you're having stress issues or things are keeping you up, you really need to address that and find somebody to talk to, some way of releasing that form of stress. What do you think of heavy single reps, for example, if the weight is too heavy to lift straight reps? What do you think of single heavy reps if the weight is too heavy to lift straight reps, multiple reps. Not on squats or deadlifts. If you're talking anything other than squats and deadlifts, you really don't need to be doing heavy singles. I mean, there's no point in that. That's stuff you do for a meet or a couple weeks peaking before a meet. So I'm not a fan at all. I'm not a fan at all. That's not how strength is built. Strength is built with volume, with tonnage, with reps and progression. It's not just built with minimal little programs that all these little twig boys on social media like to take some Bill Starr 5x5 program and try to repackage it in some bullshit way, and I'm not discounting 5x5s, but strength isn't built with just low rep sets. Strength is built with volume and progression and meat and potato, and 5x5s can be a part of that. But but singles not, doubles not, triples not. You guys really don't need that stuff until you get to advanced strength levels, and then it's a cycle. You need periods of time where you're just doing volume work, and then periods of time where you're doing peak and strength work. But far too many guys are trying to do this heavy low rep stuff year round, and it's just a waste of time. Stop doing that crap. Let's see here. How do I deal with fitness regret? I wanted to start earlier in my teens. I'm 27 now. I feel bad. Let it go. I mean, you have to. How do we all regret things we did when we were younger? Absolutely. We were young for a reason. Being young, you don't make the best decisions because you have no experience and you learn. You can't regret the maturity process. You can't regret not knowing then what you know now. That's not a valid regret. Okay, so let it go. That's all I can say. Hey, big hairy ugly dude, is your paid deadlift form check service still available? Absolutely. All my services are over at superlivingtoday.com. You can find the link in most of my videos. I do form assessments, workout assessments, diet assessments. I have all my programs, my shirts, all that good stuff over there, even full coaching. So it's still available. Danielle, when looking at a program, what is the first thing you look at to determine whether it is a good one? First thing I look at, Danielle, is to make sure it's balanced and reasonable. Balanced and reasonable. That it's not extreme. That you don't have some guy saying you only need to do 3 sets a day, or some guy that says you need to do 50 sets a day, okay? Make sure everything is about normal-ish, all right? Not too high volume, not too low volume, not super minimal, not super extreme. And then from there, you make sure it has all the quality compound movements. Squats and deadlifts and bench press and overhead presses and barbell rows or dumbbell rows, maybe pull-ups, dips, all that kind of stuff. You look for programs that have the good meat and potato exercises. And you look for a program that teaches you how to progress. So if you have a program that's 3, 4, 5 days a week, reasonable volume, good exercise selection, progressive overload, it's probably going to be a reasonable program. If it elevates some form of training as something that's going to super amplify your gains, like this superset protocol is going to be a complete game changer for you. Nah, it's not, man. Yeah, it might be a fun little thing to do. It's not going to be a game changer because you still have to use good exercises and still use progressive overload. So I hope that helped a little bit. Let's see. You really need coffee as energy. Do you need coffee? No. Report back after you've had kids, though. Seriously. I mean, do I need coffee? No. I like coffee. You don't need caffeine. You want caffeine. Would you rather be, James says, would you rather be an Olympic weightlifter or pro strongman? Would I rather be a pro strongman is a generally tall guy that weighs a lot and is taking a lot of drugs, an inhuman amount of drugs. A human growth hormone to recover from all that punishment. I don't want to die young, and I don't want to take a lot of human growth hormone. So I don't want to be a pro strongman. And I know I'm generalizing, but, it's my channel. So Olympic weightlifting, I've always looked up to it because it is extremely technical. You take a sport where I can just go into the gym and toss around dumbbells and barbells, and all of a sudden you make it super technical. That is something that I've always appreciated. So I would rather be an Olympic weightlifter. How was the Whistle Pig? The Whistle Pig, I had Whistle Pig 12 year. That is probably my new favorite whiskey. I've tried Pappy. I've tried a lot of whiskeys and bourbons, and it's my favorite. It's smooth. Even Fiona likes it. It's just smooth as a baby's butt. Will Bryant says, I've been doing exclusively singles for deadlifts in the last few weeks, and I'm really loving it. What are different variations that I can use for singles only training? The thing I like for singles only training is block periods of time, where you can do singles, doubles, or triples during a block. It could be a 5-minute block, an 8-minute block, a 10-minute block, a 12-minute block, or even a 20-minute block. Or if you want to go really crazy, a 30-minute block. You can go lighter weight. But you just do as many singles as you can in that period of time. Or you can, if you're doing an extended period of time, you can do every minute on the minute where you do a single. I like the timed versions because it gives me a goal. I can try to do as many singles as I can, quality singles, in like 8 to 10 minutes. And that gives me, the timer's going, it gets me in the zone, and I have a goal to hit. So it helps me stay focused on not just my form. Underdog College Kid said, smoking weed and fitness. I answered that earlier in this video. I don't really care what you guys do, as long as it's in moderation. One content idea I would love to see a fitness YouTuber do is mock coaching consultation. Maybe something you and Alan could do. Yeah, you know, I'd like to go in sometime and just have one of these, you know, Globo Gym, box gym guys teach me how to lift. And just, sorry, I just locked up. I hope you guys are still there. That's what I would like to do. I'd like to go to one of these gyms and have, well, we got a lot of questions. A lot of questions. I'm trying to backlog. Okay, let me see if I can get through all the questions here before going. Brett, good morning, Mr. Shaw. I'm going to have protein flapjack. Easy. All right, sounds good, man. Enjoy. That sounds like a good breakfast. What supplement do you use or recommend? I use creatine. I use beta-alanine. I use let's see, a probiotic, and I use a pre-workout occasionally. I like to sip on BCAAs. Because I like something in my water that has a little bit of flavor. Basically, use creatine, beta-alanine, a probiotic. Those are my staples outside of occasional protein powder. Best exercise for grip strength. You can do the Captain Crush grippers, I believe they call them. You can do barbell static holds. You can do extended hangs. You can do a superset of static hangs and barbell holds, or just barbell holds. Those are really good for grip, and you can try to improve your time. I don't agree with coffee. Feel drained. Okay. What's intermediate and advanced on overhead press? When you're an intermediate, your overhead press should probably be about 75 to 80% of your bench. So an intermediate on bench is probably going to, be 250 to 300. So 200 to 225 is a good goal for overhead press. Thank you, Amy. Amy, I appreciate it. You have a great weekend as well. John West, recommend working the dead press into your program. I don't like the dead press. All right. I don't like dead stop pressing, because when you're pressing with heavy weight, you have to, I've tried the dead press, you have to find that groove. And in that point in time, you're going to, until you find that right bar path, you're placing a lot of stress on your shoulders. When you're young, you're probably going to be okay. Maybe when you're old, you're probably going to be okay. It's not my favorite exercise. With that established, I would either do it after your bench work with maybe a lighter amount of weight for reps, or I would alternate it week in and week out with your bench press. Do your bench press program one week and then do something different like dead stops and close grips the next week. How can you do AMRAP on squats and deads without getting injured? Good question. You do as many reps as possible, but you stop when your form is going to break down. That's it. I have squatted for 32 years like that. I only do good squat reps. If I feel like my form's breaking down, or I feel like crap, I stop the set. I don't train a failure. I stop it right there. Simple as that. Haven't lifted in over 2 months. Going back next week. How much strength have I lost? It doesn't matter. What you need to know about muscle memory is that it's real. Once you bolster a muscle cell, it's like adding onto a house. It's there for life until the house is gone or you are gone. So your strength is going to come back more rapidly. Your muscle is going to come back more rapidly. Just eat into things and allow a transition period to, and you'll know when it's time to start adding weight. Don't worry about how much strength you lost. It'll come back. Dreg says, I'm doing well on my diet, but where I struggle is at bedtime. I'm starving, so much so that I struggle getting to sleep. Any advice? The best advice you can do is move more calories to the night. I don't know what your eating plan is, but if you're struggling and you're hungry at night, you need to do something that's more fasting type, where you can eat more food or have a meal, like a half an hour before bed. Some guys, instead of having a 2,000 calorie meal at night for fasting, they need to do a 1,000 calorie meal, wait 2 hours, and then have another 1,000 calorie meal. So my advice would be to move more calories a night and struggle, get on the struggle bus during the day a little bit. Would you recommend a 30-day water fast? No. No, I would not recommend that. This is a health and fitness channel. 17 years beginner, started doing blah. Oh my goodness. Any advice? Don't do blah. The advice is don't do that program. That knucklehead has never done his own program. Any program I put out, I've actually done and coached people with. My advice is don't use this program. Use one of mine. I won't support or address that knucklehead. I won't support that knucklehead on this channel because he's a sham. Let's see. Time to walk the dog. Have a great day, Ben. Let's see. Theoretically, if you, Sean, wrote a book about lifting form concept 5, how many pages would that book be? I already wrote a book. Superlivingtoday.com. It's called Massive Iron. Hey, Steve, I'm approaching age 40. I would like to lift heavy, but some are saying it can hinder my joints. What do you think? I didn't start powerlifting until I was age 40. You got to be smart about it. You just can't lift heavy every week. You can't do a lot of volume every week. You need somebody there to guide you that's been along that journey. You might want to lift heavy this week, and then 2 days, like do volume the next week or rest pause the next week. You got to take things slow. You can't pound yourself every single day. You don't want to pound yourself you want to build strength with a reasonable amount of volume and not necessarily in low rep sets. And you have to listen to your body. For some of us older folks, it's just not going to be in the cards to get super strong without beating up your joints, because quite frankly, there's not a lot of guys my age that are super strong. All right. Just because war of attrition, but you can still get very, very strong, very, very strong. So it just takes time and patience and smart training. How can you train with a lot of volume and have a life? I train with a lot of volume, and I'm in the gym like 75 minutes a day. So I'm not really sure what you mean. John West, Steve, what got you into lifting? I've always been into physical activity. I've always just loved sports. I've always loved baseball. I've always loved football. I've always loved hockey, golf, tennis, running. And I had a concrete lifting set. And I would do that in my bedroom. And when I went off to college, there was an English professor that was a bodybuilder. And it was usually just me and him in the gym, and he would teach me a few things. And I really picked up a passion for lifting because I saw in 18 months what progressive overload could do to my body. I got big. Women started to notice me. It was like, what is going on? So that's where my motivation drive came from. What's a good floor press to bench press ratio? I don't really do a lot of floor pressing. I imagine it would be rather equivalent because on the floor press, you're not going to your chest. So I'm not the best one to ask on that. I would probably go over to Massive Iron Facebook group, which you can find linked below in most videos. In your opinion, is wild game meat a better source of protein than store-bought meat? The key I want to focus on here is it a better source? Yes, it is a better source. Because it's coming from a better source. All right. Where's the store meat coming from? I don't know. What type of facilities, what type of hormones, what type of crap? I don't know. I don't have those questions. Even on the stuff that looks healthy and organic and natural and all those kind of good things. So I would say generally, yes, it's a better source. How much better of a source? Probably minimal. What resistance training were you doing before age 40? I started training at age 18, and I was doing basically the bones of the power muscle burn system for a very long time until I was like 29. So I did that overall for about 12 years. You can find Power Muscle Block, which is a variation of that, over at my website, superlivingtoday.com. Let's see. I've researched, and a lot of people say they got insane gains. No. Let's see. Hey, big, hairy, ugly dude. Look, that's bullshit. Don't tell me you've done a lot of research and people have got a lot of insane gains on his program. A couple people have. All right. A lot of people get insane gains on everything. So that's probably Jason himself. I don't do mobility stretching, so I can't really help you there. Do you keep your lower back healthy while incorporating heavy deadlifts and squats? It's all about form, and it's all about moderating volume and not going too bad on the volume. I don't like flat bench. Is it necessary? No, it's not necessary. Not necessary at all to do flat bench. If you don't like it, don't do it. I don't care what anybody else says. All right, guys, I'm going to hop off. It's been 52 minutes. I'm going to get to work on my bench press book. I appreciate your guys' questions and comments. If I missed your question, you can follow me on Instagram at Ben the Barman and send me a question there. You can go over to the group Massive Iron on Facebook, which I'll be linking below in this video shortly. You can, if you need any workout help, form help, diet help, or you just want a Massive Iron t-shirt, or you want to check out my books, my training books, head over to superlivingtoday.com. So guys, hope this video has been of some help. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. I almost forgot what I was going to say.